Okay, now we're going to move on to the really fun part. We're going to put the lights in and we're going to get them ready. Incidentally, what I did was I took some of the glass cleaner, I put it on a paper towel and I kind of rubbed to get rid of a lot of what was on the surface, and what left behind was the paint mixture in the little crevices. Now these are the fontanelles of the skull, you can see them. And I did the same thing to the front, where we just have little areas. What I wanted to keep the paint mixture like in between the teeth to really bring out the detail. And what we're going to do later on, the last thing is we're going to clear coat everything. Okay, so that's all set. So now we can actually move on and think about doing the lights. And like what I had said in my last video, we're going to be doing the LEDs with the flickering flame effect. Let me get my elastic. And because there's no room in the base for the battery pack, we're going to actually plug ours in. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have this on the back section, and it is what it is. We're going to have, I couldn't find them smaller than this, but this is where the plug is going to plug in. That'll be one of the last things we do. So why don't we think about doing his eyes. Okay, so like we had done in the last video, we actually painted the little section where the back of the skull, the orbs are going to be. Alright, so what we're going to need to do is we're going to be using the glue gun. You can see the LEDs are going to go in to the sockets, right into the back. And we're going to hot glue them into place. So let's get the glue gun. See how this is going to go in the base. And then we're going to put the rubber band around it. So the pin would go into this to hold this in place. The rubber band itself is going to go on the edges of the skull. Hook the rubber band over the 4 tabs so as the Baron's gourd will be able to bobble back and forth. Now snap the back of Der Baron's head to the front. But before we do that, we have to put the lights in. Okay. So what they're suggesting for the rubber band, see these little tabs? So the way it's going to work is it's not going to be visible. So before we do that, let's put in his glowing eyes. So I'm going to pass the wires through the back of the orb. And I was thinking about how to go about doing that. Because if we keep them out slightly, it won't look right with the wire. So we're going to have to go all the way to the back. I think that's going to look the best. So we'll put the hot glue on the back, right at the, see that right there? And then before the glue sets, we're going to have to put the light bulb flush onto the back. Let's see, is it ready? Let's see, we got to get it to set right about there. So when you're looking at them head on, you want the bulb to be facing straight forward. That looks good, right about there. So let's put that in front of the fan. One thing I got to make sure is that the light's not going to interfere with the elastic. So that looks pretty good. And that's solidified. You can see the back. See how that looks? He's looking straight at you. So let's do the same thing for the other side. We're going to make sure we're going to line them up. There. And make sure they're both looking in the same direction. Okay, so why don't we go ahead. We'll splice the ends together and I'll light them up for you guys. We'll get to check out his face before we close it up. I don't think I'm gonna glue it because it's a snap. I think I want to keep it where if anything happens with the rubber band, we'll be able to snap it open again and replace it. Look at that. So they're both going in the same direction, and because the bulb has its own flat bottom, we're not going to have to put the plate on the back because it won't show anyway. But isn't that cool looking? Love it. All right, that's good. So that's all set. So we're going to make it now so that the wires are not going to interfere with the elastic. So you figure the rubber band now, it's going to go on. Again, I just want to make sure we got it in the right spot, right on those tabs. Okay, and then, let's see, this is going to be going towards the back, and we're going to run it down into the base. Actually, let's do it this way. This is going to go down a little bit like that. Okay, that's a little bit better. There. And then we're going to snap the back on. Kind of like that. Now I don't think I'm going to glue it. Like I said, I want to be able to open it back up if we need to. You see the rubber band, and we have the leads coming out. I hope the leads are going to be long enough. Let's take off the base. My little snips. I don't want to interfere with the paint. So you can see right in there, that's where this little pole is going to go in. And let's line it up. And make sure the shape is going in the right position. Like that. And what we do is the elastic is going to go onto this. So in the front, see though it's a problem with the wires. So this is going to go up in that way. And I need to bring the bottom part so it hooks onto the just like that. So let's clean them up a little bit. And when the helmet goes on, like I said, I hope the helmet is going to hide that. But see how we're trying to get it so the wires don't interfere? So these wires are going to have to go down into the base, so that's going to be a problem. Because I can't drill the base into it. What I want to do is I want to open up that area a little bit more. I want it just big enough so the wires can go in. easy. We got that in. And let's pull the wires through the bottom. Let's see. It's going to be tough to get it to stay in place. See how it is right now? If we can get it to stay this way. So what I did was, we have the toothpick piece to kind of make an anchor so he can actually be supported. And if anything happens, we can go ahead and we can just take the tape off and go back in. So what we got to do now is we have to drill a hole, and we have to put this part in. So that'll be good for a starter. So I'm going to drill a hole very gingerly. Hopefully you guys can see that. So what we need to do is we need to run this through there. And then I'm going to hot glue this to the base. So I'm going to put it in as much as I can to try to get it to, ideally I'll get it to, it's so close too. But I don't want to damage the base. Let's see, if we snip off some of this section. There we are. That's what I was trying to do. See how we got the piece in now, the little ridges? And on the same token, this won't be in the way. So what I want to do is we're going to put some glue, hot glue that is, in that area. Alright, hopefully you guys can see what I'm trying to do. That way there, it won't get in the way. It is noticeable, but there's really nothing we can do about it. We'll fix the head a little bit more to try to get them solid. All right, what I want to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to wire it. All right, see how we're going to keep the wires out of the way? And we'll do the same thing with this one. See how we have the wires and we hot glued them. They're going to stay together and everything is going to be out of the way. See, now when you look at it, you can't tell that there's actually wires in the base. And let's fix the tape. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put his helmet on. I'm just going to go just like this. So that's how he's going to look. Okay, so what I did was I put for now, we put some of the tape and I used the part of the tree to actually support it. A little piece of there's an area of the chrome that has a little mark on it. But I'm gonna try to think of a way to do a more permanent positioning, so he's a little more stable. Alright guys, so I wanted to keep it where he still has the bobblehead effect, which isn't easy with the wires going in. But obviously I'm going to have to come up with a better system than this. I'm just not sure what to do. I'm going to have to think on it. But anyway, why don't we go ahead and I'm going to test the lights, because that's the most important part right now, is to get the lights functioning. Okay, so the thing wasn't good. You know what? Again, guys, I should have known. Always test the base. And of course, it wasn't working. So, it just... a lot of freaking work for nothing. I absolutely should have tested it first. So that's on me. Alright, so this is what I had wanted, guys, because the wires are going to be coming down, but I wanted him to have the bobblehead, you know, the whole charm of the kit. So I'm going to have to work on coming up with a permanent idea of how to attach that little thing to the base, because we got to keep it where, and don't worry, the tape's not going to show. This is just to try to get the head on for the wiring. You can see the head is bobbling, and I think the effects are pretty cool. It's nice because the elastics, the sides don't show. You can see the just enough paint inside where the teeth and the little details really come out nice. We've got the base. Because it's so small, we don't have to worry about a power supply or a pack. And again, I had to change that because the one I put in wasn't good. But this is easy. We do it in the back. It's neat looking. And don't look now, guys, but I told you this is a relatively easy kit. The next video is going to be the last video. What we're going to do is this, it'll be what I call the final assembly, and we'll put on the decals, and I'm going to figure out a way to make it a little more permanent with the little the stick that's attached to the base. Whether I end up drilling or putting on some kind of a support, either way it's going to have to be done, because I didn't want the wires running on the outside of the base. That would have looked terrible. But the way he is right now, I'll be happy if we can get him to stay pretty much the way he is. So I'm going to work on a support, and we'll do the decals, and he'll be finished. The flying ghost, or the glowing ghost of the Red Baron. He's nearing completion, and he's looking at you.